The question says you have on hand a 14% topical antiseptic solution. You receive an order for 1 liter of a 1 in 4,000 solution. Alright, so the first thing that I want to do looking at this is I want to get rid of this 1 in 4,000. So I want to make it into a decimal percentage. So I'll divide 1 by 4,000 on my calculator, and when I do, I get 0.00025. Let's go ahead and press pause if you need to and do that on your calculator, and that's how you get that. So moving on from there, now I know I want to dilute 14% down to 0.00025, and so I'm going to use an alligation tic-tac-toe grid to do that. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to put in there is the 0.00025, that's my desired concentration. And then I'll put in the top left, I'll put my 14%, and then on the bottom left I'll put my 0%. And that's what I'll be using to dilute this with. Alright, so going up this way, well actually first let's make life easier on ourselves. We were going to run into some problems unless we did this anyway. And so basically you have your percentage here in a decimal, but not here. Technically the decimal would be right there. And so what we want to do is move that decimal over 2 places this way, so we have a little bit more friendly numbers to work with. So we also have to move that decimal over this way. And we don't have to do it on 0, of course. Okay, so now let's go ahead and now that we have all like factors, let's go ahead and find out our difference going this way, which would be 13.975, and going this way would be 0.025. Alright, so now I know that I need 0.025 parts of the 14% and 13.975 parts of the 0% of the dilutant. And so now we need to figure out what 0.025 parts is going to be. So first we know that we need 14 parts by adding the 2 sums of the parts together. Now we need to find out what's contained in each one of those parts. So we'll do that by dividing 1 liter, and right now I will go ahead and write it down as 1,000 milliliters into 14 parts. And so each part, okay, let's see, 1 divided by 14 is 71.4286. And so if we multiply that by 0.025 from up here, that will tell us how much we need of the 14%, and that would be 1.786 milliliters. So that's what we need of the 14%. And so that's the answer. Now to check the answer, let's go ahead and do that. So I will use C1V1 equals C2V2. So our C1 is our concentration of our 14%. So we'll write that as 0.14, and volume of that is this 1.786 milliliters. And then our concentration 2 is unknown at this point, because that's what we're trying to solve here. And the volume 2 of that, which is our final volume, which is 1,000 milliliters. Okay, so if you multiply these 2 together, you get 0.25004 equals 1,000x. So from there, you would isolate x by dividing each side by 1,000. And then what you get is x equals 0.00025. And so 0.00025 is the same as 1 in 4,000, and so it all checks out. So our answer is 1.786 milliliters of the 14% is what we need in order to make our desired solution.